Thank you for joining me. I want to talk a little bit today about the social responsibilities of business. So, without a doubt, there is widespread disagreement on the extent to which business ought to involve itself in social issues. So, on one side, you have uh, business ethicists who argue that businesses ought to be very active in social issues. It is in the nature of business to be a socially involved organization on their view of things. And as such, businesses ought to be active and even proactive in agitating or promoting particular political causes on their view. And businesses ought also to make efforts to influence their customers, to lobby for issues that matter to them, and to assert themselves in a variety of ways in charitable organizations or in other kinds of community building events. That's the proactive side of the business in society continuum. On the other side, at the opposite end of the spectrum, there are other business ethicists who argue that it is not in the nature of business to involve itself in society, that rather the true nature of business is to provide a particular service or develop and refine a particular product, and in that capacity to make money. Anything else that a business does on this other end of the spectrum view is tangential to or peripheral to, might be a better way of putting it, its core mission. So on this view of things, it is best if business stay out of social issues entirely. And if the society makes particular changes or espouses certain causes, then business can follow, but it is a reactive enterprise only, and business ought not to lead society when it comes to agitating for political causes or lobbying for particular issues. So we have a spectrum then from, on the one side, business ethicists who argue for very active business involvement in political issues, to, on the other side, business ethicists who assert that businesses ought to be reactive only and ought really to devote themselves just to their particular product or service. Just as illustrations, we might imagine a couple of different corporations. For instance, on the politically active side, we might imagine corporations like Chick-fil-A or Target, which both espouse particular political views, although these political views happen to be at opposite ends of the political spectrum. Target is a left-leaning company, Chick-fil-A a right-wing leaning company, and but nevertheless, they both do agree that in their capacities as businesses, they ought to take stances that are socially involved and active, proactive, if you will, in shaping the society in accordance with their particular opinions. Target is well known for its LGBTQIA promotions. They're also well known for the bathroom controversy that erupted a couple of years ago when Target attempted to alter its policies, its corporate policies about transgender persons being able to enter the bathrooms of their choice. And ultimately, after the backlash and the boycott that resulted, Target did settle on a policy of continuing to allow transgender persons to enter the bathroom of their choice, but also at the same time constructing in all of their stores a family bathroom so that not all persons would be required to enter bathrooms with transgender persons if they felt uncomfortable doing so. At the same time, Chick-fil-A is also a politically active business. It is a business that makes frequent ventures into charitable projects, both in Atlanta and its home community, in the inner city. It does a lot for after-school programs, lots of sandwich organizations that it helps promote and sandwich events that it helps run. It runs after-school sports programming. It provides scholarships for disadvantaged youth. Chick-fil-A does a variety of different things that might be considered to be socially involved. And although Chick-fil-A does not officially take social stances in the way that Target does, unofficially it is well known that Chick-fil-A's leadership, Chick-fil-A is a private company, and its family, the Cathy family, the family that owns it, uh, holds conservative opinions on social topics. Chick-fil-A's leadership regularly takes conservative social stances, or at least they are well known for privately taking such social stances. They have become less uh, interested in speaking out publicly on such social stances in recent years. At any rate, they are, like Target, also a socially active company. Those are both examples of companies that are proactive in shaping the society in accordance with their particular social opinions and vision. On the other end of the spectrum, we have businesses that take a reactive view and that follow Milton Friedman's dictum of staying out of social issues, except insofar as doing so is directly connected to making money for the owners of the business. And there are a variety of businesses that are well known for being reactive. Most businesses tend toward the reactive end of the spectrum. It is not universal by any means, but it is the exception for businesses like Target and Chick-fil-A to proactively insert themselves in social issues. The reason why most businesses tend toward the reactive end of the spectrum is that it costs them money. If they take stances that might be controversial or unpopular in among certain groups of society, then it's entirely possible that such businesses will suffer customer loss as a result. Businesses tend to want to cast as wide a net as possible when it comes to attracting customers, and the majority of businesses tend toward the reactive side of things. They don't want to lead social change or promote their political causes, uh, at least in ostensible ways. They tend to be reactive because they want to make money and because they don't want to lose the customers who would be alienated by them taking particular social stances. There are a few businesses that are set up in such a way that they make more money by taking such stances, but the majority of businesses make less money by taking such stances, and so most businesses tend to be reactive. Examples of reactive businesses might be businesses like Walmart or Best Buy and other retailers, major retailers that don't insert themselves very often in political issues. Increasingly, Silicon Valley companies, the giant companies like Facebook or Google or Apple or Microsoft, also a tech company, these companies are taking increasingly political stances, but they still tend to be a bit more hesitant than companies like Target when it comes to actively agitating for particular causes. So we have then a spectrum in opinion between those who believe in proactive uh, political and social involvement on one side, and those business ethicists who believe in reactive involvement on the other side. And of course, there are a wide variety of positions in between these two extremes.